Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review WarHunt. And this is a new horror action film taking place during World War II with a band of US soldiers trying to find a plane that crashed with some secret stuff on it, where you have one particular character who gets brought into this group of soldiers to go along with him to find those secret things, but along the way they run into some witches and some dark, unnerving and creepy and dangerous things all along the way. And this film is written and directed by Mauro, Borrelli, who probably his biggest credit was he's an illustrator on The Last Jedi, but here takes on this feature film and is able to craft this interesting idea of like, hey, what if witches were just chilling out in the Black Forest in Germany and were messing things up for US soldiers as they're on a important secret mission? And it's an interesting idea. It's melding historical drama with some horror and some action. And overall, the film is creepy and it uses some pretty solid imagery. Even from like the opening credit sequence, builds up an interesting visual standpoint from like what this is going to look like. And with this interesting concept, it's like, has you hooked a little bit. And what was interesting is like Mickey Rourke's in this movie. He's an eye patch wearing higher up in the US military, and he's just there to dump a bunch of exposition and then randomly show up to help out towards the end of the film. You're just like, why is he necessary in this? Oh yes, because we needed a big name. And he could easily drop some really awkward exposition throughout the film. And like I said before, there's definitely creepy imagery. The witches have interesting designs. The usage of like crow's feathers is an interesting choice. And some of the things that they're able to do and transform into, it has a distinct look to it. And I think that's important. And, you know, it's one of those kinds of things where it's like, okay, are the witches just playing with them? Why aren't they just taking out all these people? And there's a little lack of logic in when these witches are going to strike and take people out. But, you know, it's a film and they're trying to build tension and have surprises. And if these witches just showed up and destroyed everybody all at once, where would the tension be and what story would we have? Wouldn't really have one. But it's really weird with what they do with some of the people and all those different kinds of things. You have Jackson Rathbone, who is this main extra soldier who's very mysterious, goes on this mission. He was in The Last Airbender and also Twilight movies, and I think he's fine in this. He doesn't get a whole lot of heavy lifting and particular things. He's kind of like the audience surrogate here, and he gets to see this whole group of other soldiers led by Robert Knepper, who's like a gritty older soldier who's like leading this band of soldiers, and like he does his thing. Each of these soldiers kind of fall into a bunch of stereotypes, and like here's the weak one, and either they fit some kind of trope or they're just kind of there. And you don't really build a whole lot of connections to a lot of the characters here, but it has some shocking moments, and especially towards the end, it has one of those kinds of endings where it's like, it's there to shock you. And along the way, creepy imagery, some fun, different kinds of horror and action elements meld together to create a pretty solid experience. Like, this isn't something that I'm going to go like, you have to go check this out. But it's like, if you enjoy a good action horror film, and, you know, if it's not quite as good as something like Overlord that came out, that was produced by J.J. Abrams, and instead of, like, witches, you have, like, zombies and weird shit like that to throw into a World War II setting. This kind of goes for the same kind of thing, where it's like a historical standpoint, throwing in some supernatural elements and having some fun with it. If that sounds up your alley, then go check this one out. But those are my thoughts on WarHunt. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.